Man's fall into sin. Have you ever wondered where death, sickness, and suffering comes from? When God finished making the heavens and the earth and everything in them, He saw that it was good, and very good at that. When God created the world, there was no death, sickness, or sin. Bad thoughts or deeds were not present and nowhere to be found. God made the first two people on earth. He created them male and female. They were called Adam and Eve. Eve was also called the mother of all living human beings. When God made the human race, He made them into His own image, that we can find in Genesis chapter 1 verses 27. God made man from the dust of the earth. They had an open communication with God, and they were innocent and united with God. God gave them the command to rule over the land and the sea and all the animals and sea creatures as well. God is holy, pure and just, and there is no darkness, wrong, or malicious motives in Him. God is good. He created the world not out of need, for His own purposes and glory. In the beginning, God made human beings with a free will and put them in the Garden of Eden. God's people believe that this garden was in the vicinity of the present-day Iraq, because God is a God of love. He gave Adam and Eve the choice of loving Him and not loving Him or obeying Him. The reality of love doesn't work without free will. If Adam and Eve didn't have a free choice, they would have been like a robot that God would have had absolute control over. But God gave Adam and Eve a free will in order to test their love for Him. He made a tree in the middle of the Garden of Eden. He named the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and told Adam and Eve not to eat of it. God told them that if they ate of it, they would surely die. Tragically, Adam and Eve ate of the tree instigated by the devil, the fallen angel Lucifer. The devil and the fallen angels rebelled against God before this event, and God chased them out of heaven because of their pride and sin. And this we can see clearly in Revelation chapter 12, verses 7 to 9. The people of God don't know exactly when this event happened. All we know is that it happened after creation, before the fall of mankind. The devil deceived Adam and Eve and told them they would be like God, knowing good and evil, if they ate of the tree. The devil tricked Adam and Eve into disobeying God. Because of this, God cursed the devil and the earth, and Adam and Eve became aware that they were guilty, sinful and naked before God. They realized that they now had to die because of their sin. God pronounced that from then on, mankind would physically die and be spiritually separated from Him, and that we refer to as a spiritual death. All of creation was affected by their sin, even the land animals, the sea creatures, the birds. And then we see clearly in Genesis chapter 3, verses 17 and 19. That is the reason why things decay and die, and why there is sickness and suffering in this world. Since that tragic day, the human race has inherited a sinful nature. In Adam, we all die. That means because Adam was the first representative of mankind, the whole human race became subjected to death, sickness, sin, and suffering. You and I probably would have chosen to eat of that tree as well, if we had been the first people on earth. A reality to consider: human beings became strangers to God because of their sinful nature. We lost the close union and fellowship we used to have with God, and became separated from God's wonderful nature. We died spiritually, and sinning is in essence cutting ourselves off from the life with God.